Hey guys, welcome back. Right now, this is a bizarre, a real bizarre game. So, I mean, it's one of those ones where you join a lobby. It is a noob lobby, right? And your boy's been playing pretty much, 90% of my games in these types of noob lobbies, right? But this is one of those ones where the map is weird, doesn't quite fit the 8 player start, right? And we've got this one guy. What is his tale? What is the tale of Zorba's All-Star? One man, one desire, to stand on a mountain. But this specimen is the reason why I'm making this video, right? I want us to try and understand this guy. I really wanna study him. I wanna see what he's about. But once he finds his feet, right? Let's see what I'm up to. So, engine storing badly because even I was fascinated with Zorba, right? When I was playing the game. So my typical start, build at least 2-3 mexes, get 3 windmills if the wind is good. Nevertheless, you got to keep eyes on it and make sure that the wind hasn't depreciated so far that you need to make a solar collector or 2. 1 was sufficient. Wind's picked back up. Energy is looking alright. Metal income is healthy. I've got a res bot out that's looking to capture a whole ton of trees and rocks and all that good stuff, right? My construction unit's going straight into building a tower for me, which is going to be fantastic. And I made 1 little defense, hoping this does the trick. But you notice from the attack radius, right? It's not covering my my mechs all the way in the back. Yeah, so that's a bit of a blunder for me. So one of the things I would highly recommend is, if you're in a situation like this, do consider, not even consider, do it. Make a second LLT, and where I should have put the second LLT is perhaps somewhere around here, because then it would have covered off all of this section, right? And that would have been the ideal way of doing things. In terms of my lab, got a few pawns going out. I made a couple of ticks, right? And I've sent them all the way up here. Just to, as typically I do my plays, I'll move them to the central point of the map. Yo, this guy was ready for it. He was prepared for war. Stuck his hands up. These are my little soldiers. So I've got my commander, slowly but surely moving up. these guys look super cool. Where are they going? So I believe, if I am not mistaken, I moved them up a little bit more, right? Because I did notice a few of these dots. Wanted to kind of understand what they were. I mean, to my despair, they were vehicles, right? So bots, they don't really trade too good against vehicles unless you outnumber them kind of 2 to 1, like pawns versus blitzes, right? And you try to win it in that respect. My commander is still moving up ever so slowly, right? I was trying to cap off these mexes as I go. I'm busy here trying to micro the units because I can't allow the enemy team to just get an entire like bastion of these blitzes roaming around over here. I mean, you'll see from this radius, right, that's being marked out, they clearly have an LLT probably around here, right, as you can actually see on the map itself. Now, what was annoying me are these planes, right? And you can see, yeah, look, the enemy teams, they spotted me, they know I'm there, and that's gonna make them a little bit hungry to come after me. Yeah. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're spotted early and they're pinging you, I mean, you don't know that when you're playing the game that they're pinging you, but I know they spotted me because they've got these planes. They can see I'm there, right? It's no secret. I mean, my commander, well, my comrade, he's moving up as well, which is really good, right? This is what you want to see, right? This is good because I don't want to be up here alone. And when you're playing these types of games, if you've got, you know, players who aren't as experienced as you, sometimes your plays, depending on what you're doing, will encourage them to follow suit, right? It could be that this is how he plays as well normally, right? And if it's not, at least with him seeing that I'm moving up, he's probably thinking, look, I wanna back up my teammate here, right? I don't want to have him be up alone all the way, you know, progressing through the map. Now on this side, blue, he's moving up. He's moving up. I mean, again, look, my whole thing around this whole ranking stuff, you know, it's a noob lobby, I get it, but I can't see how you could be the team leader. I mean, open skill, it's one of those things, you could get these numbers up. If I'm not mistaken, maybe I'm wrong, even if you've just played against the AI here and there, right? But it's these chevrons. I mean, how can you be the most experienced or skilled person in the team with a chevron count like that? Now, what is this guy doing?
Commander has died.
This is that renegade that I was talking about earlier, right? I mean, look at this. And he's e-stalling as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't even have the energy economy to be playing this type of way. I mean, the enemy comm is there. He doesn't want any piece of it. Now he does. Now he does.
Commander
Thankfully for him, he doesn't have you know, the enemy doesn't have an LLT here. Otherwise, it's nights out for this guy, right? Now he's crying for E. I've given him 11 wind turbines, trying to help. Right, now you got 2 comms. If you can take them both out, that would be super. Lab goes down. Yeah, this is it. This is it. He's trading. He's gonna definitely get the trade off, right? He should be smart enough. You know, he should run away. These two are gonna go kaboom, right? Let it happen.
Commander destroyed.
He lives as well, right? I mean, just go get the reclaim, brother. Get the reclaim. And look, it was hilarious to a point, but at the same time, it was a little bit of a troll play, right? So, you know, when I saw this happen, I was like, I can't take this. I cannot take this game, this particular match, seriously at all, because we I mean, yeah, okay, he's got a couple of bases down, right? But it would have been better if he was with us, alive and playing with us. Yeah, because if you look at his chevron count, he's with me. Yeah, me and Reem. So that's a big loss, losing a guy like that. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough. This is quite nice. He's giving me some metal, right? So one of the things you notice that I've done here, I made a forward base. Now I made vehicles because I want to keep it to player view, so you guys can understand what I was seeing at this time, right? I can't go toe to toe with the enemy team pumping out vehicles with just simply bots. I can't do that. I do have my bot lab still in the base, my original starting position, right? But I needed to get some vehicles out, yeah, and I need them having produced to a decent number, a nice composition of, like, you know, shell shockers, missile trucks, things like this that's going to give me a bit more range armor and to take care of these flipping planes. The things with missile trucks, they've got anti-air, right? And I wanna take care of these planes that I keep coming on board. Spotted the commander. He's been caught lacking. Now what I've done is my squad, I've targeted the commander, but I've clicked on maneuver rather than leaving them as hold position. Why? I want them to chase him, yeah, to a certain point, because I don't want, you know,
has died.
sweet, beautiful. Now that's also given us vision of what this guy's cooking up over here as well. I mean, in effect, they had like 2 players going air. Madness. Now, I didn't have enough units or the HP needed on the units to take that red guy out. Otherwise, I would have loved to have done that. I would have loved to have gotten a double kill out of that situation. Now this is tough. These tanks are really good. The pounders, really good tanks. I mean, they were giving me a hard time. I was having difficulty with them. I mean, they fire really quickly. Well, I feel like the projectile moves super quick, right? And they look the blowback damage, right? The push damage on that was significant. Really good. Let me get rid of this silly arrow, right? Yeah, this is difficult because I'm in a situation where I need to get units out, right? I'm trying to utilize my commander as my sort of base building helper, but I need a construction vehicle here to kind of help me establish this front. I need to kind of shield or shroud my units. I want to get a construction tower somewhere here so you can do the repairs, reclaim, help the lab, all that good stuff, right? And help build potential defenses. Now, I wasn't able to see what actually happened over here, and yeah, I mean, my the lightest blue colleague, he wasn't really producing units. And again, it could be another troll player, right? I mean, you look at that name, and that should kind of tell you. So yeah, it's just one of those weird games. Like, I felt as though me and the blue player that was near me, right? Oh, not it. Oh, actually, this guy maybe he's making units. Yeah, okay, interesting. Maybe he isn't trolling. Yeah, okay, cool. So he's reinforcing both the fronts, which is actually kind of nice. That's really good. Opportunity to see what these guys were doing. It's these tanks. They were my biggest problem. Now my radar would be spotting the dots there, right? So I know they were moving in around me. I could see that my squad mate was sending in units. I don't think we picked up this guy though. I don't think I had any idea he was there. Yeah, because I was making a push up here, hoping to dismantle this ball of tanks. So I couldn't allow them to just get free reign over here. And perhaps that wasn't the right move. If I had paid a little bit more attention and spotted, you know, the enemy commander being down here, it might have been a lot better for me to go after him, right? Again, it's one of those things where psychologically the morale of the enemy team perhaps would have been hurt a lot more than anything else. Well, because this guy got a nice foothold on us, right? And we've not been able to do anything about it, which is quite disappointing. So what's the really bright green color up to? See, look, I don't yeah. Again, top tip, guys, and on some of my other videos you've seen it, right? I wouldn't recommend doing this, and yeah, because it might seem like a good idea, have two labs trying to pump, but what you find is it is inefficient. One lab constantly pumping out units, or even a mixture of units, is so much more efficient than trying to do this type of play. Yeah, and you're getting these guys to try and help, and yeah, look, you're dying with metal. Yeah, instead focus on the energy converters, try and, you know, improve your energy economy. I would have loved to have seen him make a bot lab, so at least have some res bots and send them. If you're not gonna, you know, be able to get the units out super quick, right, at least have a bunch of res bots that you're sending in to get the reclaim of the corpses, yeah, or to resurrect some good units that have died, because that's going to be super important. See, look at as Phantom was doing with that res bot, right? Because if you're getting the metal, at least you're denying the enemy from getting the metal. Even if, like, your squad mate that's in the battle isn't getting them, it's all good. At least it's coming to you, and you're going to be able to do something with that metal that's going to benefit the team, right? Whether that's making units, building up the economy, or distributing that wealth in and amongst your squad mates. That's always useful. Always useful. Yeah, just checking what that dot was. I do believe at some point I give a construction bot to you know, Mr. R. Kelly, right? That was Superman. Yeah, to Kal-El over there that made that daring trip over the mountains. I think he might have moved the bot up to help. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Now, what I would have preferred to have seen him do is try to get back. Yeah, he is. Look, he's trying to do so, right? Look, you know, get back into the game, make a metal extractor, because look, it's not at the point where you can't get back in, especially if you can just pump out some really useful units, even if it's just pawns or grunts. Yeah, if you start making those and make a big ball, at least when I'm ready to push, I can say to you, move on up with me, right? And you'll be surprised with a large contingent of pawns or grunts mixed in with these types of units, you could do crazy damage. In fact, I'd even argue to say, right, if they don't have tier 2 units out on the field, we could take out all their bases with that type of play. So something to keep in mind. Now, I was quite hesitant here because my metal income wasn't great. You know, I'm spending, I'm probably building a bit too much, right? And I was hesitant to move the army up. I had to do something to stop these guys from pushing forward and capturing way too much ground, because this guy is clearly obsessed about, you know, owning the absolute center of the map, which is a fantastic strategy, mind you. I mean, even in chess, right, they always say you want to take control of the center of the board, right, because then you've got, you know, access to both the flanks to attack and to defend. Okay, looks like we're not trading too well. Even my forces, look, I'm hesitant. I'm trying to keep them safe, and it's because we don't have great scout. Like, we don't. I know they got a tier 2 lab, but what else is there? Don't know. And I couldn't risk losing all of these units if I made too much of a strong push. So I was kind of worried about that. Nevertheless, when I spot this guy, I want to go for him, right? See, full on assault. This is the one I want. This is the scalp I want to get, right? Thermonuclear blast. I want him to wipe out his entire army. Now, doesn't look like he's got too much around him. With the takeoff camera, yeah, look, that didn't yield the type of result I wanted, right? But that's another kill under my belt. So I feel good about that, but I still feel as though they're still strong. They're still strong. I mean, look at this section of the map, the right side. Yeah, it's not healthy. Like, our main player, primary blue, he's not really. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, he's kind of 2v1 with a little bit of 3v1 going on up in here, right? And maybe they need to coordinate a little bit better. He needs to give instruction to green and say, look, make this unit, or move in with me, or give me the units to micro if you're not used to microing, and things like this. But again, you know, oh, great play. I mean, he busted up my base. Yeah, he busted up my base. He got these tanks in and around. He must have just moved in through all of this, right? And the damage is gonna be significant. I mean, I was pinging, hoping that anybody that was a little bit more close by could do something with that. I think air was lacking, I'll be completely honest, because look, these fighters are just here. Like, all these fighters are doing is making sure he doesn't get bombed. They're not doing anything of any value for the rest of the team. And this is kind of odd, because this player, his chevron count again is like mine. So I am going to be a little bit more critical with this guy. He should have had enough playtime to understand the importance of a fighter wall, bare minimum, a fighter wall, right? I mean, what's this achieving for anybody? You know, at least with the fighter wall, what it also does in terms of ground units, it's giving you that visibility that you may not get with your radar. Yeah. So we might have been able to spot that attack a lot more earlier. He could have pinged us and helped potentially. Yeah. So it's yeah. I don't think it's the strongest air player. I don't know. It's yeah. Okay. Look, he's acknowledged that he wasn't able to cover that. So that's nice. That's actually quite nice to see. Yeah, that's actually quite nice to see. Because he is Cortex A, he's got shurikens. He could defend all our bases very easily. Just having a wall of shurikens, just on standby, just being there. And that tier 1 push with those tanks would have been absolutely dealt with. Absolutely dealt with. Didn't really get anything out of that bombing run, which is a real shame. A real shame. Yeah, I mean that little sneak attack with those tanks did such a great job with busting up my base. There's nothing there. I mean, yeah, I at some point I do build a construction vehicle to go back over there to try and recap those Vexes. And I do think one of my squad mates, really kind of him, he actually started building some of those mexes back up for me, which was super good, really useful. It's good to see a bit of a tick spam, but don't do the ticks in this straight line. You'd want to do things like you'd want to make it zigzaggy. So if you take this, doesn't let me do it. But yeah, you'd want to just like zigzag them around, only because if they just go in a straight line, it's very easy for these types of units or static defenses to pick them off. But if they're zigzagging here and there is a chance that you're going to be able to get the enemy team to shoot themselves. Tier 2 gunships are now in play. This is bad. This is super bad. And look, we don't have any fighters, nothing really. I tried to do a little bit of air defense. I was relying on my missile trucks quite a bit. I'll be completely honest. Yeah, and it just goes to show that look, if a good air player can do a significant amount of work. I mean, there are some shurikens here now, which is nice. But yeah, I don't know. I think different type of units. You got to read the situation whenever you play bar or any RTS. I'd imagine you got to read the situation and understand what is it that the guys need. If you're reacting too much, if you're making units post something happening, like because of that little tank push that wiped out my base, he's made a few shurikens and he's put them near me, which is nice, but it's almost like the horse has bolted, right? The horse has run, and now you're trying to close the barn door. It's like, well, you scouted when you sent some fighters and bombers up, and you can see they're in tier 2. I don't know if he had an opportunity to see that they had an air base there already, but from the crazy play earlier, he would have known that there was another air player, right? So you're kind of gonna have to get a nice string of fighters. Oof. This is bad. Like he's just sleeping on the job, to be completely honest. I mean, he's not really been in a fight, if you know what I mean. He's been helping me here and there. You got to build up to tier 2, mate. I mean, he's got a windmill. Now, I don't like being too critical of noob games, right? Because I myself am a noob, right? However, as I've said in some other videos, when you're playing bar, before jumping in like 8v8 games in particular, right? Please play some games against the AI so you can get an understanding of what is it that you're building, whether that's bots, whether that's economic structures. Why are you building something? For example, why would you have a windmill on a metal spot? Now, if you've played against the AI, you would understand that you got two main resources in bar: energy and metal. And you would see quite quickly that metal spots, right, are very scarce on any map except maps that are fully metal. So why would you waste a metal spot by putting a windmill on top of it? Now it could be a mistake, but what's worse is he hasn't acknowledged the mistake. He doesn't know that it's there. I mean, I was watching a live stream by Winter Gaming, right? He was playing a game, and they weren't noobs, right? It was people that were play the game for a significant amount of time, in comparison to noobs. And there was a guy. It was on Smolders, I think. There was a chap that accidentally built solar panels on the metal spots when he started the game, right? And people pointed at him and said, "Yo, what what are you doing? You can't do that." But he acknowledged it straight away, and he's like, "Oop, my bad. That's embarrassing." He acknowledged it straight away. He reclaimed the solar panels, and he made the metal extractors. But this is poor. And yeah, shameless plug. Please watch my video on how to learn bar. It's very, very important, right? It's not the sort of video that tells you exactly what units to build in this particular order, very precise, and then when you play the game you have no idea. You get absolutely lambasted because you're trying to follow a specific build order, and life ain't fair, right? The how to learn to play bar video is mainly to teach you how to fish, not necessarily what types of fishes that you to be going after, right, or looking to bait. So please, for those of you who are getting into bar, yes, absolutely, play the game, pick it up, have fun, have some joy, but please spend a bit of time to learn the mechanics of the game. I mean, I started I was kind of okay because I had played Total Annihilation back in the day, right? So I understood the concept of the metal and the energy from my times playing that game, right? But it's been a number of years, and what I found was I was watching YouTube videos from like the Bright Works and a few others to understand, what building does what, and how useful is a particular building in comparison to another one, right? But a lot of those were build order type videos, yeah. And what I was trying to do with mine is more around how can you learn to play the game, yeah. What should you be doing in order to do that? And the big takeaway is playing with the barbarian AI against the barbarian AI, right? So please keep that in mind. Just because you want to learn the game, don't just fire up a skirmish is you 1v1 in the computer, and it's cheating on you because it knows exactly where your units are and things like that. No, play with a few barbarian AI comrades and go up against the enemy AI, and trust me, you're gonna learn and you're gonna pick things up. You're gonna learn how to be defensive, you're gonna learn how to be attackive, you're gonna learn how to mix things up. You won't be making schoolboy errors like this, and not correcting them. I mean, his attention is clearly here because he's building other things, and what it means is you're gonna enjoy the game a lot more because you're gonna be able to eco up and get up the tech trees, right? And you're going to be making stronger units. You're going to be able to do better raids. You're going to have trades with the enemy team that are more favorable to you, right? You're going to be able to support your teammates when they're making crazy pushes, right? And also, you may come across ideas of your own of crazy plays that you've never thought about before, right? But you need to get yourself up to that stage. Now, I do think at this point I resigned because we tried to call the resign vote a good few times. Nothing was happening, and it just started dragging. Now I'm gonna speed this up because even the enemy teams, for some bizarre reason, again, look, they got this silly command. You've got these Zars. You can absolutely just wipe out the team, but you're just wasting time. Don't understand the thinking behind that, right? So look, if nothing useful happens, I will shut the video off here because I don't want it to drag, for the sake of dragging. This is 20 speed, but the computer is only doing it at 6 to 7. But look, you can see this is a complete waste of time. Another thing, if you're a noob coming into the game, pick up on when it is a good idea to vote yes. When a resignation vote is called, this is definitely resign territory. No one's doing anything. When the vote was called, hit yes. Don't waste time. Move on to the next game. I am indeed gonna
Battle paused.
stop this here because it's not going to go anywhere. But yeah, look, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's a bit of a weird video, right? But it's to kind of take a few learnings from it. You know, a bit of a interesting strat in the beginning. What's your thoughts on that, right? Do you think this was a bit of a troll match? Do you feel like if it wasn't played in this particular way with these odd uh odd plays in the beginning of the game, do you think we could have beaten the enemy had we stayed a solid 18? Let me know. I love to hear love to hear your thoughts on that. All right, guys, thank you very much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.